This is my first Sunday chit chat. My name's Cecilia Aiden, if you don't know who I am. And I basically just want to share my thoughts because I just moved to a completely different state on a completely different coast. And yeah, I don't have a lot of friends, kind of pathetic to say. So I just wanted to share my weekly thoughts. Let's see, what have I been thinking about this week? I've been thinking about the role love plays in making decisions. Because I keep feeling like I go to make a decision, and because I am so in love with someone, I don't know what part of me wants to choose that. It's am I using my love to want to see the world in a way where it works with us? For instance, my choice is do I dance or do I go back to college? And if I went back to college, I'd be able to see my boyfriend, who I'm in love with, a lot more because we'd probably go to the same college. And so it's I don't really want to dance anymore as a profession, but am I just prioritizing the reasons that make the profession bad more now because I'm in love and because I want to be with him? And is it even bad to want to be with your boyfriend? And as a kid, I was always I'm never gonna be one of those girls that sacrifices themselves for their partner. I would watch movies and I would see the main girl character do that and sacrifice her entire self for this person. And watching that, I would always be disgusted because that's never who I wanted to be, I always wanted to be one of those girls that went with her gut and didn't let the attention of a boy or her feelings for a boy stop her from going after what she wanted. But I think there's also an element of realizing that my priorities shifted far before I ever got into this relationship. The reason I loved ballet so much is I loved the validation and I loved feeling dominant in a space. And realizing that I'm not willing to sacrifice everything just for my ego the way I used to be when I was in a different place and before I really grew as an adult. Realizing that makes me not want to pursue the career because I know that if I pursued that career, I'd ultimately have to give up a lot of what I believe in now and my values now and what I think makes me a good person now. And so I've really just been kind of I guess contemplating that. I still love dancing, but it's just different. There's just this element where now that I realized I was in it for the ego trip, it's the glass shattered, in How I Met Your Mother, that one episode where it's they all have these epiphanies because all of their friends are going and shattering their glasses. And I always found that episode the worst, because I was I don't want anyone to ruin my life by showing me all these imperfections that will just annoy me once I know, right? But it was kind of a glass shattering moment coming here, moving across the country for ballet, and then being I don't really feel the same need to be perfect. Now I go into the studio and I'm there for 3-4 hours, right? And I'm just okay, I want to get the best workout I can and improve this as much as I can, as what it is. It's not as embodying. I guess it's just my worth isn't tied to it, so it doesn't feel as important to me anymore, which I guess is good. It's almost eliminated a lot of emotional suffering I used to go through with ballet because I used to really be devastated if I didn't get a certain part or whatever. So it's not like that anymore. I just don't. I care. I want to put out my best, but I don't really care how it's received anymore because I know that I'm doing my best and I know that I'm getting the most out of the experience that I possibly can. It's made cross training a lot more fun because then it's just ooh, I have extra things to make me in shape. And coming from a ballet background, obviously I still body check and stuff. Yeah, that's the other thing. Catherine Morgan just came out with that video, and it was kind of weird to watch because it was watching your own experience in someone else's circumstances. because I was told as a freshman that I needed to lose weight for ballet, and I did it. And I did it unhealthily, the way a lot of their stories have been being told, where it was like, I wouldn't eat for 10 hours, I would always do cardio, I would drink all the water I possibly could, I would cut calories, I would, I still have a lot of that diet mentality now. I don't, like, where I've gotten so far, and I still don't eat grains, I still don't eat dairy, I don't really eat meat, I don't eat sugar. I try to eat as little as possible, just enough to sustain me sometimes. And like, having a boyfriend, having someone from outside of the toxic community that I isolated myself in as a high schooler, having him be like, this is fucked up, like what you're doing to yourself is fucked up, like, that was another glass shattering moment. I guess that'll be the theme of the video, glass shattering moments of moving. I also realized that a lot of people do things on their own, and it's not pathetic. I had to quarantine for 2 weeks when I got here for ballet, which they should have. Side note, if you're gonna make people sacrifice so much for one thing, you need to provide mental health support systems. I don't know if you're a company that's trying to do that right now, like take care of your dancers, take care of your athletes, take care of your workers, like whatever it is, it's universal. Like, if you're forcing your workers right now because of COVID to like isolate in certain ways, you need to make sure that they're mentally doing okay. Like, World Mental Health Day was like yesterday, whatever, and I was just like sitting there and I was like, y'all can talk the talk, but you can't walk the walk, because there's not enough support systems. It's not as simple as just checking up on your friends. It's not. Everyone should know this. It's not as simple as just checking up on your friends. It's about destigmatizing being alone, because I feel like people, like, it's not, like, for me, I don't feel lonely unless I feel like it's a bad thing that I'm spending time alone. And so, like, having to be alone, basically, for, like, 3 weeks here, in a new city, without friends, really taught me that, like, being alone is okay. And it was a really hard lesson for me, because this summer I kind of was like, go, 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 like, always hang out with people, like, it's like I would finish my dance and then I would be like, how can I make plans for today with people? Like, granted, in COVID, like, don't COVID shame me within my bubble, okay? Like, everyone has different, like, opinions on how to do that right. I was really safe. But yeah, so I've been thinking about that a lot. I've been thinking about what causes us to restrain ourselves from reaching out to others, because now that I am back in the studio, I'm trying to make friends with the people in my group, or like the other dancers that I'm dancing with on a daily basis. I'm trying to like make connections here in a new city as an 18-year-old girl. And I've noticed that I don't take when people don't reach out as personally anymore, because I realize that there's probably a different reason than that they don't like me. I mean, people can not like me. I mean, there are certain things where I'm like, I can see how you would not want to spend time with me, right? Like, sometimes I don't want to spend time with me, and that's when I watch TV, right? Like you try to get away from your thoughts by watching other people's thoughts on television. You project. Whatever, glass shattering moment of my own. But yeah, I basically, I'm just not offended if someone doesn't reach out. And then I just reach out. And I feel like that's been working a lot better. I don't care if I get a no, because at least I tried. Someone's bound to say yes. I'm not that bad. You know what I mean? And I think I really had to learn that lesson through high school, of just realizing that, you have to take accountability for the friends you have. Quite honestly, you have to take accountability for that. At least that's my opinion. I don't really think that like, yes, it's hard to make friends. We're at a pandemic, and I really understand that and acknowledge that, especially being here. Like, I maybe have 3 friends, maybe, but, like, I'm trying. And you have to take accountability for when you reach out and when you don't. I think, like, I think a lot of people get into a mindset of, like, no one wants to hang out with me, no one likes me, no one talks to me, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, it, and I've been there, like, that was freshman and sophomore year for me, like, in a nutshell. But you're allowed to reach out. Like, no one's reaching out to you because they probably expect you to reach out. You know what I mean? Like, and if you want human connection, then go for human connection. I feel like that's been lost a little bit, especially there's a few Instagram feeds and a few, like, TikTok feeds and Snapchat feeds where it really spirals really quick. That's my computer. It's over there. But it spirals and it just becomes, like, this pity party, and, like, a few of them have, like, popped up on my Instagram, like, scrolling explore or whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm trying to get off that app, but and I kind of was just like, I don't need this, like, because I could just text someone, or I could go somewhere, I could talk to the cash register at my grocery store, I could write a letter to an old friend, I could, you know, and it's like, how can I get the most out of my life? And it's like, I think looking for opportunities has been a really valuable, like, skill that I have, or, like, muscle memory thing. No, that's not the word. Instinct. It was like a built habit. A habit. There we go. But I think doing that was, like, really important for me, because now I have, like, this hope that I can always change my life if I really want to. I can always improve it, because I just have to look for the opportunities that I think will make that improvement. For instance, I'm applying to college. Again, 2nd year in a row. Crazy. Like, going through this again. I took a gap year. And, like, working on that essay, I'm like, all I had to do was write the essay and just, like, sit down and get over myself, stop worrying if it was bad, and just write it. And it was bad. It was a little rough. And then I just took all those thoughts that I put into the original one, and I wrote a different one, and I like that one better. And then I edited it and got it. I don't know. I feel like there's resources. I also know that, like, the first couple of weeks I was here, self-motivation was really hard, and I totally understand how that's not. I don't know. I think it's a combination of what you're given and what you do with it. As far as mental health goes for me, because I have really bad anxiety, and I do dabble in depression. That's okay, that's a weird phrase. People are, I don't know, like, how to politically correct that phrase, but for me, that's what it feels like. And the way I've kind of gotten coped. The way I've coped is by working hard, and I know that's not everyone's instinct. That was just always what made me feel better, was, like, knowing I was doing something, especially with anxiety and dealing with uncertainty. That was that, for me. But when I got here and I was completely out of routine, I felt like, you know, and it's really easy to believe thoughts when you're, like, alone. You know, like, when you bounce thoughts off of people and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then it's different. But, like, when you're here alone, and, like, I could have called someone, but then it was like, you know, you believe the thought that calls are exhausting and they only hurt more. You know, like, it's really easy to, like, self-isolate and just, like, spiral. So for me, I totally get, like, not, like the mental part being harder to get the intent out. Like, I wanted to be happy, but I had all these thoughts telling me I couldn't be, and it took, like, a really big, like, shift for me to get to the point where I'm at now, where I'm really motivated to, like, create my best life. But it's not that easy, and I'm still dealing with, like, sadness and anxiety, and, you know, it's not always easy to stay in the present moment. I kind of like these videos. I feel like I rambled for 15 minutes, but I also really enjoy this. I kind of want to do a dance project where I just dance around my city and put music behind it and just have a bunch of little clips and like edit it really fun, you know? So I might put that on this channel. I also do a lot of spoken word. I think that was my first video. Not really sure. Yeah. This is my room. That's a mirror. That's a fan. That's my collage because I love collaging. Highly recommend. Gets rid of a bunch of time, and then you have this like cool piece of art that's like super detailed, and somehow all the colors work in a really cool way. At least the way my brain does it. I don't know. Yeah, but thanks for watching. Subscribe. Oh man, YouTuber speak. Subscribe, thumbs up, share. I don't know. These are kind of for me. They're kind of to see where this goes. Yeah.